Guru Mata, I have deeply observed that thoughts are not truly me. Thoughts, emotions, and sensations keep arising and disappearing on their own. Especially thoughts, I can never predict what my next thought will be. And according to those thoughts, emotions and bodily sensations automatically follow. There seems to be absolutely no control over this entire process. Everything appears to be happening on its own. There does not even seem to be a real doer behind it. Even this body keeps changing every moment. But still, there is something inside constantly chasing, trying and becoming. Wanting to be happier, more successful, more famous, more spiritual, always seeking something more. Who is this me that is endlessly trying to become?
Very deep and profound observations, Arav. The one continuously trying, chasing and becoming, is the psychological image you have unknowingly built about yourself, commonly referred to as ego, the sense of being a separate self apart from existence. But to understand this deeply, we must first observe how this illusion of self is created in the mind. A child is not born with a psychological identity. It comes into the world innocent, curious and deeply present. It looks at life with wonder. It plays, explores, watches and responds naturally to each moment. At that stage, the child may experience physical pain, hunger or discomfort. But psychological suffering has not yet fully formed. There is no inner voice saying, I am inferior. I must become better. I must become somebody important. The child is simply in a state of being, never becoming. Fully present, playful and naturally engaged with life as it unfolds.
So basically, Guru Mata. A child arrives on earth peacefully, and society immediately starts installing software updates called religion, comparison, career pressure, external validation and what will others say? Then the mind becomes highly trained to constantly judge what others might be judging about me.
Yes, you are right. First, you are given a name, religion, nationality and personality, creating an illusion of individuality, none of which was consciously chosen by you. Then society creates an identity around the body and calls it you. But deeply observe, Arav. Without identification with body and mind, there is no fixed Arav. Soon the child learns. If I behave correctly, I am praised. If not, I am humiliated. Then comparison begins. Am I smarter than others? More successful than others? More accepted by others? And slowly, the opinions and evaluations of others begin creating the illusion of Arav.
So, childhood is basically the phase where society slowly converts a free human being into a resume?
Correct. The child slowly stops asking, how do I experience life? And starts asking, how do I become somebody important in the eyes of others? How do I get appreciation and approval? Attention shifts from simple being to psychological becoming. This is the trap of external validation. It slowly creates and strengthens the illusion of a separate self that is constantly trying to compete, achieve and become something more, instead of simply being.
So, from childhood itself, life quietly becomes a competitive reality show? Topper of the class. Employee of the month. Most spiritual person. And everyone keeps performing desperately, hoping to win a trophy called You are the greatest master and finally enough.
The moment comparison enters, competition begins. Life becomes a race for external validation, trying to be more successful, respected and important than others. Yet many spend their whole lives chasing approval, only to end with regret and dissatisfaction. Gradually, the mind creates an image called me, built from memory, fear, praise and conditioning. Every praise or criticism strengthens this psychological identity. But deeply observe, Arav. There is no solid me there in the first place. It is mostly a mental construct struggling to become better than other mental constructs. The irony is almost humorous. Like shadows competing with other shadows to prove superiority, without ever realizing the source of the shadow itself.
So basically, Guru Mata. Human life is like shadows attending motivational, spiritual sessions to become better shadows. One shadow says, I am richer. Another says, I am more spiritual. Another says, my shadow has more followers on social media. And all of them are desperately competing for superiority without even asking, who or what is creating the shadow in the first place?
Exactly, Arav. The mind remains so occupied improving the shadow that it never turns inward to observe the source. That source is pure awareness, the silent presence in which thoughts, emotions, sensations, and even the sense of me appear and disappear. But the ego fears this observation deeply. Because the moment the mind clearly sees that the psychological self is mostly a conditioned construct, its illusion of solidity begins collapsing. That is why the ego continuously keeps itself busy, through achievement, comparison, entertainment, conflict, ambition, and endless seeking. Constant psychological movement protects the illusion of self. Silence threatens it. Stillness threatens it. Deep observation threatens it. Because in complete observation, the mind slowly discovers the separate self it spent its whole life defending was never truly solid in the first place.
So, the ego can even become a spiritual celebrity? Collect followers, quote scriptures, speak about egolessness, while secretly strengthening a bigger and more sophisticated ego?
Exactly. The ego can survive through success, failure, and even spirituality. Earlier it chased money, status, and recognition. Now it starts chasing spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. The greed remains the same, only the object changes. The mind wants to know more, appear wiser, and feel superior to others. But repeating borrowed ideas without deeply understanding oneself only increases confusion. One of the greatest difficulties for the ego is remaining peacefully in a state of not knowing.
So, only humans wake up one morning and decide, I will become the number one enlightened person on the planet? Even spirituality becomes another Olympic competition?
Correct, right on target. That is why awareness is more important than blind belief. The moment this entire movement is deeply observed without judgment or escape, the false self slowly weakens. Because ego survives through unconscious identification. Observation dissolves identification. Then there is simple being. Not becoming, not competing, not trying to become somebody. Just awareness, presence, and life flowing naturally in the present moment. The answer is quietly visible in nature itself, Arav. No tree struggles to become spiritually superior. No river compares itself with another river. No bird carries a psychological burden of becoming enlightened. Everything simply lives according to its nature.
So, existence is functioning perfectly well. And meanwhile, the mind sits inside like an overconfident middle manager claiming, I am handling everything?
Exactly. Only the human mind imagines it must become something extraordinary in this infinite existence. Ironically, it is not about becoming supernatural. It is about being completely natural. Life is mostly happening on its own, thoughts arise, emotions arise, the body changes, breathing happens, the heart beats.
So, even the spiritual ego is basically terrified of being ordinary? It wants VIP treatment even from existence itself?
Yes. Yet the mind creates the illusion. I am the doer. I must achieve something greater than others. Someday in the future, I will finally become whole and complete. It survives by psychologically claiming ownership over actions and outcomes. And deeply underneath, it craves importance, validation, and recognition. It wants to feel, I matter. I am special. I am somebody significant.
So, the ego is basically like an employee taking credit for a company it never created? Actions are mostly happening on their own. But the ego rushes in afterward to claim ownership and importance. Yet the mind proudly declares, everything is happening because of me. I am the one controlling life.
Correct. And tell me, Arav, if you have arisen from existence itself, how can you truly be separate from it? Can a wave exist separate from the ocean? Can a leaf exist separate from the tree? The sun, moon, stars, and planets all exist simply because existence is expressing itself through them. They are not struggling to fulfill some psychological purpose or become something higher. So why does the human mind imagine, there is something extraordinary I must achieve to finally become complete? You are not outside existence observing it from a distance. You are one expression of the same total movement and intelligence of existence. The sense of being a completely separate psychological entity is largely an illusion created by thought and identification.
This feels deeply frustrating and humbling, Guru Mata. Part of me almost feels disappointed hearing this. The ego wants to feel special, important, and destined for something extraordinary. Accepting that life may simply be about living naturally feels strangely humiliating.
Of course, Arav. Enlightenment is perhaps the ultimate humiliation of the ego. Because it discovers there is nowhere to reach. Nothing to preach. Nothing to become. Nothing to prove. Nothing is the end of every spiritual path. Ironically, the journey ends when this becomes an unshakable realization, not as belief or borrowed knowledge, but as direct seeing. Then the seeker disappears, and with it, the search itself ends. What remains is simply life flowing as it always was. The wave was never separate from the ocean. Only thought imagined distance and created the journey. And perhaps the simplest wisdom is this: be as peaceful and happy as possible. Help reduce unnecessary suffering wherever you can. Let life live naturally, without the constant interference of egoic demands. Love deeply and leave the world a little lighter than you found it. That alone is enough.
Guru Mata, I feel strangely relieved and insulted at the same time. My ego wanted cosmic significance, a grand destiny, and some special spiritual achievement. Instead, you are telling me to simply be, enjoy life and be kind? Yet one thing feels undeniably true: I am experiencing existence moment to moment.
Wow, you just uttered the golden word, experiencing. Look carefully. Your true nature is neither thoughts, emotions and sensations, nor the imagined experiencer called me. It is the awareness in which both appear and disappear. In that sense, Arav is not a noun but a verb, a continuous happening.
Wait, so all these years I have been introducing myself incorrectly? Instead of saying, I am Arav, I should have been saying, Araving is currently happening?
That was quite funny. Yet very closer to the truth than you might imagine. Ever static, yet dynamic. Still at its core, yet expressing itself as all movement and life. As for your frustration, existence has unfolded effortlessly for billions of years. Only the human mind turned life into a complicated project. A person appears briefly in cosmic time, explores, learns, loves and departs. Why carry the burden of becoming extraordinary? You are here for a short appearance in the grand play of existence. Explore. Experiment. Learn. Love.
So, after all this seeking, striving, suffering, self-improvement and spiritual searching, the grand cosmic conclusion is: relax, play, dance, have fun, laugh wholeheartedly, enjoy the ride, be kind and stop taking yourself so seriously?
Precisely. And perhaps your only real purpose is to discover that happiness was never hidden in achievements, possessions, status or future outcomes. It was always quietly present within, obscured by the endless search for it in impermanent objects and situations. Do not fall into the trap of becoming somebody merely to make others proud. Instead, make yourself proud for having the courage to fully explore life, to question, experiment, learn, love and discover truth for yourself. And when the time comes, leave without regrets for not becoming someone special. Enough for today, Arav. Do not believe these words. Do not reject them. Observe. Reflect. Verify for yourself. We shall continue again soon. Bye for now.